3 is Tony Jules from Queensland, and on 4, David Williamson in the Sports 1300 Racing Association 1975 Robin.
Well, one thing is certain, these cars are exciting to watch. They are very spectacular to drive. As we get away, let's have a look just how the grid unfolds. Car 13 has gotten away pretty smartly. In fact, it looks very strong. That's a Robin, and there's a lot of difference in machinery out there, but they're all running to very similar rules, and so it's a rules-generated class, and you can see there's aerodynamics involved. They all run 1300cc engines, and these cars are super suited to the Wakefield course.
Also, the Sports 1300 formula, Greg, is defined to restricted design. The car must be an open two-seater style with a front engine, rear-wheel drive configuration, and the chassis of the sports frame type, all running 1300cc.
Yes, it's interesting how the class has developed over a period of time. It has grown with more aerodynamic aids being allowed. It used to be that the front guards, for example, had to be quite separate of the bodywork, and now you can see they're starting to move them into some aerodynamic positions at the front. They run quite large rear wings, and in fact that gives them quite a bit of adjustability, and so they can move the cars around on the circuit depending on just the type of aerodynamic setup. But we have John Burton out in front, car 13. He's certainly not superstitious as he comes onto the straight, and you can see just how well these cars steer. They really do turn into the corners, and well, this is sports car racing at its purest as everyone streams down the straight here at Wakefield Park. And as I already said, this circuit really suits these kind of cars, or possibly vice versa. They are suited to the circuit. You can see the air duct out the side there for the carburetor. A lot of these cars use Corolla engines, believe it or not. They seem to be pretty popular out there, and they run dual Webers with basically the only rules being it has to be 1300cc's. Their tyre size is held to a minimum, and it makes them pretty exciting to drive. As you can see, there's plenty of action out on the circuit.
Yes, Greg, with the motor cars, you were saying Toyota 1290cc with Tony Jules from Queensland in a 1981 Vector Mark II. Now, a top little motor car goes very quick around the Wakefield Park.
It certainly seems that there's a lot of home tuners in this sport. One thing's for certain, it really does give the backyard racer a chance. Have a look at some of this action as they try and, well, work for position. That's Hunter up the inside, and in fact, I think really it was Tony Jules there who just let him through with a bit of a brake lock-up. But yes, it's definitely a home tuners race class, this. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of welding and grinding going on in garages all over the country producing sports 1300s.
And 15, Alan Hunter in the 1969 SHW Corolla with a 1300cc slips into third place. And 22, car 22, the Sports 1300 Racing Association with David Williamson aboard.
It seems that Williamson there in 22, I mean, this is a huge battle going on right now for second place. Burton has simply flown the coupe. Williamson's got himself into second, Hunter in third. But it seems to me that Williamson's car is having a, well, he's had a different think about how he wants to achieve the aerodynamics with this car. That's your leader out in front and simply running away with it. Gee, he's got himself a nicely settled car. This is Williamson 22 on screen, and Williamson's car, if you have a look, has two winglets at the back. Rather than having a full wing running right across the back of the car, he's just running the two winglets, and it looks tough. This is one tough looking Sports 1300, and you can see also that it's balanced at the front by, again, a couple of winglets, but it's a full nose cone on this particular car. The Sports 1300 class has been around for many, many years, and it is a favourite class of, well, guys who want to get themselves into an open wheeler, but basically want to race something that, well, originally was designed to be a road car. And you can see here there's plenty of action. They're not giving up here for third place. That is Tony Jules. He's come down from Queensland. He's now got himself up into third place, and I don't think the race for second's over yet. Our leader, though, well, he's definitely got this one shot to pieces, given that he doesn't have any problems out there. Burton is simply running away with it. Gee, that car looks balanced as it comes through the corners, turns in well, drives it out on the throttle. But as I was saying, a lot of these cars are designed to be driven on the road. It used to be the case that in fact they were driven to the racetrack and driven back home. They were registered vehicles. As time has gone on, well, some of the changes have now made these cars a little tough to get past the rego inspector. Needless to say, they are still very much open wheeler and very purist racing cars.
Certainly are, Greg, and of course there's car 13, John Burton in the 1984 Robin M84 with the Toyota motor under the bonnet there as they travel down straight.
Well, they are front engine, rear wheel drive, and so they are a fairly conventional setup. They run disc brakes and they are very light. One of the things about this particular form of racing is the cars generally come in under the 1,000 kilo. We're on our last lap. Burton, well, he knows that. He's already gone past the last lap board a little while ago, and the battle rages here for second and third. But these cars, yes, very light, and it does give them tremendous grip from the tyres. The tyres are very soft compound. They have to be because they just don't generate that much heat. Car 22, though, really does look a treat as it heads down around the S's for the final time. Our man Burton looking forward to checking out the checkered flag because he's not far from it now. And you can see here that the circuit itself really does provide. It will be Tony Jules. He'll grab third, just hanging on for third. So Tony Jules, the trip down from Queensland, well worth the effort. Well, as the cars continue to stream across the line, we trust you've enjoyed some of the club sport action that is coming from the fantastic and new Wakefield Park. Well, that wraps up the action here at Wakefield. In fact, that's it from us here at Speedweek. We thank you for your company on behalf of the Speedweek team. We look forward to seeing you next week, same time on SBS.